Welcome to Edge Unscripted On the Floor RLLB Edition. In this special edition, we're bringing you live, candid conversations straight from the show floor at Running Legal Like a Business, the premier conference focused on the business of law and legal operations. You'll hear what's catching attention at RLLB, insights on where the industry is headed, and the opportunities leaders see for growth and transformation. Let's go off script.
Hi everybody, Amy Juers from Edge Marketing, and here we are at RLLB, Running Legal Like a Business. And this is the second time I've been to this conference, and I'm here with Nick with Pursuit. Nice to meet you, Nick.
Wonderful to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Is this your first time here at the conference? Or?
It is. I was planning on coming last year. I had a daughter born in September, so
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're not missing your birthday this week, are you?
No.
Okay.
It's in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'll be home for that.
Well, congratulations.
But yeah, first time at the event. Really excited to be here.
Yeah. It's definitely different than other conferences for sure. There's just the quality of people here. I think you'll find is extraordinary, and also the content too. So speaking of content, let's step back a tiny step.
Okay.
As far as tell me about Pursuit, because we need to know more about what you guys do.
Yeah. So Pursuit is an outside counsel engagement platform. So it's designed to create a best-in-class operating model for how our customers, in-house legal departments, manage their external legal spend and their law firm network. It's taking a data-driven approach to create more transparency and visibility and better communication amongst those relationships.
Yeah, and so how did you get into this business? And you're the CEO, correct? You're the head of the company, or?
No. So I'm the VP of sales. But thank you for making me feel like I have that gravitas.
You do.
No. So I'm the VP of sales, but I was part of the founding team. So I joined back in early 2018, employee number 7, joining pre-revenue. So we now have over 100 Fortune 500 in-house teams that we work with, and over 120 employees globally.
Wow.
So it's been a fun ride.
Yeah. Well, all your success, I'm sure. I mean, it just sounds amazing. So what's on the back end? What's controlling all this data, or how do tell me a little bit more about the system, and does it integrate with the other platforms, and to give people that comprehensive dashboard kind of picture?
It does. So the data that's being driven is from the spend that our customers are actually putting through the platform.
Okay.
So if people are familiar with Pursuit, we made our name in the marketplace for being able to streamline RFPs at the matter level. So think of a matter or a complaint that comes into the department. Traditionally, an attorney would pick up the phone or email a law firm, say, get to work. What we've done is streamline a process to be able to scope out a really detailed set of instructions. And instead of just sending that to one firm, send it to 3 or 4 of the firms that you trust and know and are familiar with. So that way you can really easily compare how are they thinking of approaching pricing, what's their strategy, how are they going to staff this matter. So it's essentially RFPs, but we've taken all the pain away from what traditionally has been a pretty grueling process when you think about
time
RFPs.
Consuming. I mean, just everything, right?
Yeah. And so the data is all of the spend details that we've received through the platform, which we're coming up on over $18 billion now.
Oh, wow.
So being able to provide that back to our customers to give them the confidence of what should a matter cost, what should a project, what should a certain key activity cost, and ensuring that you're getting the right value for your spend.
That's cool. Yes, and obviously your long list of clients is testimony to the value that you guys provide with your softwares. That's great. Are you, so sharing what you know and what your company has experienced, I understand you have a session this week?
Yeah, so we're really excited about a session we're running on Thursday on taking a data-driven approach to create better communication with your law firms as you're going through the really fun process of annual rate increase negotiations. So we're fortunate to have a few of our customers that are going to join us in the session, and it should provide some really tactical, detailed insights that hopefully will be engaging and the audience can take away.
Yeah, so Thursday. we should mark it in our calendars, Vicki. Vicki's on the camera back there today, helping me out. Yeah. So is there any, okay, so what are you personally hoping to get out of this conference this week?
I think it's just about embracing the community as
Yeah.
it's growing. Connie and Jeff have done an incredible job building this community and really building an ecosystem where in-house folks, law firms, vendors can really communicate with each other, and how best can we advance the industry, how can we attack the challenges that everyone faces,
Sure.
and not feel so siloed.
Sure.
I think a big part of this is realizing that the challenges that you may be facing within your department are probably pretty similar to the challenges other folks are facing, and being able to collaborate and figure out, hey, what's worked for you? What can I bring back to my team? So I'm really excited about the opportunity to meet more of the network here, and it's always fun to meet customers that you built up relationships with over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. That, the face-to-face contact, you can't beat that.
Absolutely.
And you'll get it here this week. So, well, Nick, thank you for your time. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. I hope you guys have a ton of success in the future. And thanks for being on Edge Unscripted.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, everybody. Amy Juers from Edge Unscripted. And I'm here with Jim with My Legal, right?
That's right.
Co-founder, CEO. Tell me about you.
Well, I've been in the process management industry for over 35 years, and we created My Legal we launched it in 2022. We're in a third iteration, My Legal 3.0, which is kind of what's going on in that. I'm more operational and kind of in the solution consulting side of the company. Andy is on more of the marketing and
Andy, come over and wave and say hello real quick. He doesn't have a mic, but yes, he set all of this up. So thank you, Andy.
So we've been at this for a while now, and just starting to gain some pretty good traction with very unique technologies that we have, and we've been doing more sophisticated kinds of things. We call it enterprise grade automation versus workflow. We've been embedding more and more technology elements into the platform. As of yesterday, we did a code purchase for technology called Leaflet, and that now is source code that we own. We just procured that from them. So we've added a full-blown CLM application and a bunch of Gen AI capabilities and a document management system. So that's us in a nutshell. And anyway,
yeah, that's really cool. So Leaflet, I've heard of that name before, and it's a well-known brand. So congrats on that.
Yeah, very exciting milestone for the company. Yeah,
absolutely.
So we're thrilled about it.
So what you said you do unique things. So kind of hit on a few of those for us, because
so our distinction really is to try to weave technologies together as much as anything. So lesser sophisticated platforms, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. In most cases, you'll have to code things, or you'll have to write APIs and things like that. So what typically you see is one of two things. You have clients that have very little tech, and they need a roadmap to go forward with, and they need a sort of an all-in-one platform, we think, that would be helpful for them to get all the things that the other big guys already have, let's say. And then you have the big guys, and they already have a CLM and an ELM and a spend management system, a e-discovery platform. They've already got all these big silos that exist in there. So what we're really known for is how do you blend that together? We call it right now unified. So we think the future is unified. Mm-hmm. And unified is really around utilizing what you already have in your tech stack and making it better. Can you wrap them with automation and make the user experience more simplistic and more unified across all these different platforms? That's one. Can you get the data to come out of those more elegantly and serve it up in the analytics as the C-suite wants to see what you've been doing. Right. Very difficult when you have a whole bunch of different data sources.
Absolutely. Like yeah.
So those are the things that we do. The other thing is a lot with AI. AI is becoming obviously the big thing everybody wants to talk about. But we're doing tangible things with that. Where there's what was once a human-centric situation, they needed to literally look through documents and create a spreadsheet of all that kind of thing. That kind of work can be automated using large language models, AI, agentic components that are woven into some work process.
Sure. So you're doing that today for your clients?
We are.
That's great.
Yeah, there's like warranty claims, medical records claims kinds of situations are all kind of able to be leveraged, and you chunk through each of these documents and you can assemble them in the way that you want using the CLM technology into a document, Excel or Word or something like this. It's very, very helpful.
Yeah. And so if I were a legal ops professional, like what would you want me to come up and ask you? Like what would be, you know, a typical challenge that I would have that you could potentially solve?
Well,
you kind of hit on some of it.
Yeah, no,
already.
but we do it in reverse, right?
Yeah.
So it's more about you guys and what your accomplishments are and what you're striving to do. What are your challenges and what are your pain points and things like that. So, and then what I've been telling people, especially this week, is look at this much more holistically.
Sure.
Look at it in a way that you're seeing a future that tech-enabled automation and AI can simplify work process and where those challenges lie. It's what we often see with legal ops folks is they're a little bit myopic. They focus on one thing. We're going to do CLM or we're going to do e-discovery, and they got months and months of time that they're spending here trying to get those platforms rolled out. Where if you look at it more broadly, we might have 50 or 100 different kind of work processes that we can basically make more effective.
Wow. It sounds like you have a very consultative approach to, you know, when you're working with your clients, and I assume that they totally appreciate that, because you have, you know, just thinking out loud, when you're talking to multiple different legal ops people or corporate legal people, you are hearing their stories and you're helping them come up with solutions so that when a new client comes along, you have all this experience doing what you've been doing for so long. And so I'm sure they totally appreciate that.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's really not about us. We can be an extension to your legal department. And that way we have the knowledge and the wherewithal, the things that we've experienced that we bring to the table. That's all great. We know these platforms. These platforms are highly sophisticated and capable tools. So that we have all the things that we bring to the table, but it's not about us. It's really about, can we solve problems together?
Yeah.
And so we really like to go through that consultative approach, but more so, how can we be an extension to your team and then bring in, fill the holes, leverage some of our partners that, you know, there's the others that are typically here, that consultants that are able to, you know, bring to bear additional capabilities and knowledge that we have more than we have. So that's the idea.
Well, it's fun that you're bringing all of this together, and you launched your new leaflet integration and service. And so what are you hoping to get out of the conference?
Well, it's been successful so far. We have a meeting room over there. Well, anybody's welcome to join us at this over in Cyan 7, and those have been very good conversations. We like the booth, but more so, people. I can't really have this kind of conversation, just like we were saying. I can't learn enough about somebody in 5 minutes. It's basically just show me your wares, and they move on. And of course, there's a lot to take in when you have all this here, right?
Yeah.
So what we've learned is that we can, you know, spend a 45-minute time period to work with people and kind of get to the root of the things that they're trying to accomplish and weigh in where we can, at least initially, to see if there's something we can help them with.
That's really cool, because you're bringing value to them as well. It's not like, you know, the meet and greet is fine, but they can actually come here and see a future and a solution that you are more than willing and able to help provide.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to draw a distinction from a tool that, you know, kind of looks the same. You know, workflow versus automation, I mentioned before. You know, they look similar. They behave similarly. There's a huge difference, really, and you can't really get that out in a 5-minute conversation with people here. And it's just like drinking from a fire hose, because you're looking at e-discovery or file management or workflow and automation and, you know, and whatever, legal front doors or whatever that you're talking to people about here. It's too much to consume a lot of times. Helpful, fun. We like this environment, but not necessarily if you want to be not help anybody right away.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a holistic approach, a consultative approach, come to My Legal.
That's right.
Right? Excellent.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today.
No, thank
and
you.
Joining
No,
me on
we
this
appreciate
unscripted podcast.
Yes,
And
awesome.
I hope you guys have great success.
We're going to. That's the idea. So
Okay.
thanks so much.
Thank you. Damien, welcome.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Yes.
So good to talk to you.
Yes. So Damien is part of VLEX, which has a bunch of exciting things going on and a bunch of exciting news recently. And so I actually didn't really meet you until just now, but I came to RLLB last year and heard you speak, and I saw a demo of the product, and I want to just say, it was life-changing. Not that I'm a practitioner, but just your message about the industry, the technology, where it's headed was very profound.
Thanks.
So I need to thank you for that moment, because it's really helped me as a professional look at things a little bit differently in terms of my business and what I'm doing every day. And so what are you hoping to get out of the conference this year? And like, what are you most excited about?
So I've given, I was on the road 200 days in 2024. So that's a lot of time at a lot of conferences, probably over 100 conferences where I've been speaking. So a lot of things that are being said on stage are often repetitive as to what I've heard in the past. But so I think this conference, like most conferences, I'm looking to talk to smart people doing smart things and be able to, I get the most value out of conversations like these and hallway conversations.
Oh, yeah.
So that mostly.
It took you a while to get over here to talk to me.
I did, yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so many meetings. Yeah.
But I know that you get stopped constantly in the halls, so I expected that. So,
Yeah. So
as
mostly,
I do too. So it's just like, oh.
And the best thing about those hallway conversations, and RLLB has lots of those hallway conversations, is people can speak more candidly than they can on stage. And so I feel like the best part of these conferences is being able to get the straight dope, if you will, on what's going on in maybe an unfiltered way.
Yeah. And so, like, what are you hearing most often, like today, or when you're running into people that you know or maybe don't know? Or,
Sure. So a few weeks ago, I was on stage with Salesforce. If you know Leo Mergel and Dorothy, with the legal ops team for them, Dorothy and I were on stage along with Charlie Knowlton, and Dorothy said on stage that from January to July of this year, they've already saved $3 million from external spend to bring it internal. That is, they've stuff that they would have spent on law firms, now they brought in-house, using tools like Vincent and others to be able to reduce that spend just in the first half of the year.
Wow.
So, and they hope to, by the end of the year, probably they anticipate between 5 and 6 million in savings from external spend, and then they hope to expand that next year. So I think that, again, the future is here. It's just not evenly distributed. If you look at, Salesforce, if you look at Darth Vaughn from Ford Motor Company, that all of them are really pushing the boundaries on what the relationship is between internal counsel and external counsel.
Sure.
Because really, Darth has said on stage, so I'm going to quote him, he said, effectively, hey, law firms, you have a new competitor in town. It's me. That is, I'm trying to do in-house what you are doing externally.
Yeah.
So if you want business from me, you have to demonstrate your value above what I can do internally.
Yeah.
And number one, you're going to use a large language model, or at least a large language model backed tool. If you don't, you're fired. And now that you're doing this, now you can say, okay, Darth can use a large language model too.
Right.
So what value are you providing above that? And so, as tools like Vincent's get into the marketplace and are being used by Salesforce and others, what do law firms provide as value atop what they can do internally?
Yeah, I think you and I have been around the industry long enough to know that the in-house versus outsourcing, it ebbs and flows. It goes through cycles.
Yeah.
And so what I'm hearing you say is, like, right now the cycle is to insource versus outsource, and that's kind of what's happening. So law firms are essentially having to, I don't want to say reinvent themselves, but just really rethink how they're providing value to their clients.
That's right. Because in the past, that value is, okay, I as an in-house lawyer don't have time to do the legal research on this topic, so I'll outsource that to my law firm. So that's in the old world. In the new world, though, the same amount of time that it would take that in-house lawyer to be able to write the email to external counsel, they could ask that question of Vincent, and in a minute and a half to get an answer. So option one is the old world, spend $5,000 to be able to answer a question or more.
Yeah.
Option two is get it answered right away.
Yeah.
And so really that's a really...
I know what I would pick.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Right, exactly. So if you're a law firm that said, I've relied a lot on that revenue of advisory work or regulatory work, that maybe the in-house counsel doesn't need that anymore, and the in-house counsel might not want to tell you why they're not hiring you anymore. They'll just, your phone just won't ring anymore, and you won't know why.
Yeah, interesting. So I know that VLEX has had some real big news announcements lately, so maybe if people haven't heard for some odd reason, but can you share a little bit about that and
Sure.
kind of what the future might look like, as much as you know?
The team with VLEX has been building Vincent for years, and we're happy that that's been our product that really led Clio to be able to bring us on board, where they're buying us for about $1 billion. And so $1 billion is a lot of money, and of course it's not just Vincent, but it's the data upon which Vincent rests.
Sure.
All the cases, all the statutes, all the regulations,
Yes.
all the motions, briefs, pleadings, and that's not just in the U.S., but we have data from 100 countries worldwide.
Wow.
And so we can, for example, run a 50-state survey or a multi-country survey with data from the UK and the European Union and Latin America and Hong Kong and Singapore. So for the in-house counsel that wants to be able to ask a 50-state survey or a multi-country survey, there's only one game in town that can do all those things, because you can ask an English question across Spanish law and get an English answer. We are the only game in town that is able to do that kind of work. So really, Clio saw that value and was able to acquire us for $1 billion.
Wow. Congratulations
Thanks.
on that.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah.
All right. So kind of looking ahead of the future, is there anything that you could share with us in that regard, in terms of, because sometimes with acquisitions, clients might get a little nervous, but let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that one can imagine post-merger option number one is to kind of constrain, fire people, and be able to say, let's have kind of consolidation and get rid of people. Option two is to keep growing. And Clio is firmly in option two, where they say, this is a combination that is going to rise the tide of all of our boats. And so I think that anyone who may have concerns should not be worried, because we are going to invest in the solo small segment, which we are, Clio has traditionally been a part of,
for that.
right?
Yes.
And up to the medium segment. And then we're also going to be building out the enterprise segment, which Vincent has been really good, both with the law firm enterprise, that is the AmLaw 200, and also the in-house, the law department segment.
Sure.
So we are going to continue to grow both of those,
Yeah.
and be able to really fuel both the law firms that are looking to do work differently and the law departments who are really looking to do work differently too.
So I see you have a very decent consultative angle too to what you guys are doing for the law firms, as well as the corporate legal side.
Yeah, and the consultative side, that's a lot of what I do is kind of the theater of the possible, because people don't even they see the tools that are out there, and I'm not going to name my competitors, but they see the underwhelming tools out there, and they say, well, this is not for me. This is not going to help my day to day. So part of my work is to educate them to say that Vincent is not like the other competitors, that you don't have to be a prompt engineer. You simply upload a PDF of the complaint, and we give you about 200 pages worth of good analysis, just like the work that I did as Robin Kaplan. I would say, what are the claims? What are the defenses to those claims? What questions should I ask my client? That's all the work of the lawyer.
Yeah.
And we do that same thing for contracts. Upload a contract, get 200 pages, no prompting necessary.
Right.
So really this idea of, well, AI is probably not for me because these tools I've seen are underwhelming. Take a look at Vincent and you'll see something different.
Well, I did. I saw it last year, and I just, like I said, my mind was just blown, and I'm like, okay, I need to rethink it.
And it's gotten even better since you saw it. Yeah, it's gotten even better. So like with the combination with Clio, I think even more resources are going to be able to devote to both the litigation and the transactional side, building out all the workflows for all the tasks of everything I did as a litigator and everything that my compatriots did for a law department. So stay tuned. These are exciting times.
I agree. And thank you, Damien, for sharing your insights. And it's always a pleasure to see you and talk to you. And good luck in the hallways.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a thrill.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Juers, and here we are with Edge Unscripted. And I'm here with Suzanne, Vice President of Legal Sven Solutions. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to me.
Well, I'm not going to speak to you. You're going to speak to me.
Well, I'm very good at that, so I can speak all day about anything.
I don't have all day. But anyways, so thank you again for spending time with me. And you're with Quizlex, obviously. And we're here at RLLB. And is this your first time at this conference?
No, this is my second time. I was unable to attend last year, but I plan to be a long-term attendee of these because I really believe in what Connie's doing here.
That's a common theme, and I'm so excited to hear that. So, and I feel the same way. There's a different vibe here, a different feel.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, there is. There's really a vibe of people really wanting to learn to get better at what they're doing for their organizations, to get experience with technologies and services and that they don't necessarily deal with currently that they may want to bring into their organizations. So it's really a great vibe that way. And then in addition, the way that they have brought the exhibition room in with where everybody eats, it really brings everybody together and really helps with networking.
Yeah, and the session rooms are tied in as well, which is, I think, a unique, sometimes there's like showcase stages and whatever in the exhibit hall, but this is truly integrated.
It is. And I really like the way that they've done that. It really does allow people to meet new people as well as catch up with some friends that you haven't seen for a while.
Absolutely. That's kind of why I come. I mean, I love seeing friendly faces from the past and meeting new people. So tell me, Quizlex here, like what's going on? What are you guys talking about? And how do you fit into this big picture?
Well, we are, we're really here to talk about the various things that we do and how that we can make the various organizations have their legal operations and have their legal businesses and legal departments run better. I'm involved in spend management, which of course is a huge part of that. Essentially, if you have no money, you can't do anything. So I'm really involved in helping organizations find the ability to do more with less, essentially, which is basically the theme of everything these days.
Yeah.
And so Quizlex is really involved in that. We do a lot of contract management, and we do a lot with work with law firms in lots of large litigations. So we really have our hands in a lot of different areas. And the various technologies that are here and the various organizations here are people that we've worked with, but also technologies that we also look to partner with so that we can give better service to our clients.
Right. Is there like a common theme when people come up to you and they kind of hear about what you do or they know what you do? Like, what are some of the common challenges that you're hearing on the show floor from the attendees?
Definitely hearing how can we do more with less, and also tell us more about really, and of course the big theme is, how do you deal with AI? Are you working with AI? Are you comfortable with AI? And sometimes the comment is, can you tell me what AI is and how it kind of works?
Right.
So that's really a big thing that comes up for us. And we have people here that work on legal transformation, which really involves a lot of the AI. So that's really a lot of the conversations that we're having with the people, the attendees that come up to see us.
Yeah, they're looking for that consultative voice, it sounds like. Right?
Exactly. And that's one thing that's really great about Quizlex is we do so many things, and we do so many things really, really well, that when somebody comes up to talk to us about one thing, very often it's, well, let me pull so-and-so in because we can also help you with this problem and that problem and the other problem.
Yeah.
Which makes, which really allows us to build, not have so much have clients and customers, but more partners and partnerships and strong relationships with the people that we work with.
Yeah, this industry is so small when you kind of think about it. And,
absolutely.
And a lot of connections, a lot of people know each other and share resources and best practices. So, and that's kind of what this community, the legal ops community, is all about, and what Connie has really built here is that, willingness to extend a hand out and consult and share. So now you've done some speaking for legal ops. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I have. I was very proud to speak at the inaugural conference about finding your inner CFO, and when you're talking about legal spend and legal operations, because those two really go together. And I also have been lucky enough to speak at one of the regional conferences in LA, which are really great because the rooms it's a smaller room. You have a lot of time afterwards to really engage with the attendees, and they can ask you some more specific questions, talk to you more about the various topics that you've gone through, and it's a different feel than speaking in a larger room here. So I'm, like I said, I'm really lucky that Connie has offered for me to speak a couple of times here, and I'm sure I'll be speaking in the future.
Yeah.
She knows I like to speak. So I never say no.
No, that's great. We have a lot of fun things to share and important things to share, and so she realizes that, I'm sure. So, all right. So, what are you hoping to get out of the conference?
Well, my main goal with coming to this conference this year was really to meet some new people and to talk to some new people and really, put myself out there a little bit to talk to. And I've been doing that. I've really been enjoying it and meeting people that even not necessarily if it's the type of person that or that is, that I'm going to do business with and be a client. But somebody that I might partner with in the future, maybe just make a new friend. Those things are really important, and I feel like I've started to do that by just talking to a lot of different people.
Right. Well, excellent. I love those goals. I love what you guys are doing, and I love that consultative approach. And so, congrats on all of that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We're very happy. We're very pleased.
Yeah.
And thank you for allowing me to share my ideas today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Amy Juers here at RLLB, and I'm here with Neil and Kim of Ex Judicata. And we're so happy to be here today at this conference. And this is my second time. Kim, how about you?
My second time as well.
Yes. And so, what brings you here to this conference?
Sure. Well, everyone's a Connie fan. So I've had the privilege and honor to know Connie for many years. And Neil and I have worked with her as a marketing partner, helping to support the mission of Legal Ops.
That's wonderful. And Neil, how about you?
This is my second show along with Kim. It's a lot about supporting Connie. We love what she's doing. And we're just really happy to be here and happy to be talking to you.
And so as far as like Ex Judicata, and it's relatively new, right? The company is? Or
2 years,
2 years
live, 3 years working on it.
Okay. And tell me like where you guys are at today and how you fit into this marketplace.
Well, the quick metric, Amy, is that we've had 200,000 unique users to date with virtually no marketing spend. So we've hit a chord, we resonate, and the people that we're resonating with are all of the lawyers out there that wonder, is there something else that they can do with their law degree because they're just not that happy practicing law? And our belief from the very beginning has been that JD can lead you anywhere. That is a foundation for myriad careers. Law is just one of them. I was fortunate enough to realize that early on, and that's kind of been my whole life's mission. But as we're starting to find, more and more lawyers are starting to believe in the message, essentially. And one reason why we're here is Legal Ops is so connected to former lawyers, because about half the legal ops professionals, maybe a quarter at least, are former practicing lawyers. So this is just a natural.
Yeah. Kim, do you want to add to that?
Sure. No, it's been a journey. And one of the aspects I love the most is working with the law schools and the law students, because they know as early as probably 2L that they may not want to practice law. So we let them come to our site, complimentary of course, and we guide them on all of the different JD Advantage jobs that are out there that they can take a look at, because it's a very powerful degree.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just can't imagine going through all of that work, paying all that money for the education, and getting into a law firm and going, oh my gosh, I am stuck. So you not only have the avenue, but you consult and you nurture and mentor these people through these changes. Is that correct?
Exactly. And you hit on an important point. People have spent money and they worry, how am I going to pay the bills now that I've spent all this money going to law school? I'm not practicing law. So we work with them as well on kind of financial counseling. We're not financial counselors, but we can direct them.
Sure, absolutely. So what, go ahead.
So,
this is unscripted, so you can do whatever you want.
Thank you. So, and we have several tools that lawyers can use that think they may want to pivot. We have something called the EXJ Diagnostic, which we built from scratch with a team of professionals in analytics and organizational behavior, and the output will result in a probability of success in different JD adjacent positions. So the diagnostic is a great tool. We have the job board. We also have a tremendous amount of content. We have a series on If I Leave the Law, Careers In, whether it be wealth management or crisis or compliance, and then also a series of articles for lawyers that have pivoted, meant to be inspirational and aspirational. So it's not just about, okay, you can do this and we're going to help you. It's look at all these people that have done it very successfully, and we support them in that way as well.
So Neil, you mentioned something earlier before we started recording about just businesses needing that the complex mind to handle complex problems.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, it really is a foundational belief now that we didn't come up with this phrase. It's actually from Kelly Testi, who's arguably the most influential person in legal education. And she said exactly what I said before, that a JD is no longer a law degree. A JD is a degree in complex problem solving. And if there's one thing the world needs more of, it's complex problem solvers. So if you start with that as a basis, and then as Kim pointed out on our website, we have all these people that started out with their JD and went on to do these fantastic things. We show, we don't just tell, we also show.
That's fantastic. That's great. So last question for each one of you is, like, what are you hoping to get out of this conference and this week?
So we're launching a new community. It's EXJ 2.0, and it will be the first ever community for non-practicing lawyers, bringing them together for networking, peer-to-peer exchange, business development, you name it. So the new platform will still service the law students. It will still service lawyers seeking career transition. And now it will have a group or a community of lawyers that have already pivoted. And in doing so, we will be asking them, are you willing to talk to somebody interested in your career? So no longer is it just a job board. It will now be a community where somebody can give a hand back and say, hey, let's go talk about this business.
And
Excellent.
That community,
Yeah.
Amy, is also complimentary. It's free. We're not
Yes.
charging anything. We don't even ask for a credit card. We just want people to join, to show the world really that this is a community.
Yeah.
There's an estimated 800,000 non-practicing lawyers in the U.S. They've never been brought
Wow.
together in any way, shape, or form.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that many. So good for you. Well, it sounds like you guys are off to a great start, and you're building and creating these wonderful resources for people. So thank you for doing that. And
Thank you.
free is wonderful. Like, this podcast is free. So I'm just happy to have you both here. And Kim and I have known each other for quite a while.
Absolutely.
So it is really lovely to see you too. And Neil, very nice meeting you. And thank you all
Thank
for
you.
being here on this podcast today.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. This is Amy Juers from Edge Unscripted. And I'm here with Megan of Athenian. Megan, nice to meet you.
Hi, it's nice to meet you too, Amy. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. Hey, we're all here. We may as well hang out together for a while.
Exactly.
Right? So tell me about Athenian and just how you guys fit into this legal ops marketplace.
Yeah, so Athenian we're modern entity management, but what we really want to do is we want to usher in the era of governance operations. So we know that the data that legal teams take care of is relied upon by tax, it's relied upon by finance, treasury. It's so important for so many of the functional business practices. And so we want to make that data work for everyone and really be able to be connected through all of those teams.
Yeah.
So taking it to that next level.
Yeah. So tell me more about the actual, like, where does this data come from? Like, where does it go to, and how you guys fit into that integration picture, if you will.
Yeah. And so what's interesting is that's always going to be a little bit different for every company.
Oh, sure.
So usually legal teams are managing a lot of this information on spreadsheets. They're maintaining their digital minute books as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe some of it is in a service provider's software that you can access. Some of it might be held by tax. Some parts of it might be held by even HR in terms of keeping up with who's active members on a board. And so one of the things that Athenian wants to do is we want to try to meet every legal team where they are. So we can connect via our API with softwares like Workday to connect those HR integrations, eFront, Carta, so that way you can have all of that data working together. And then when we combine that with our AI, we really make it where you can go from having new legal entity formation documents to an updated org chart for tax in a matter of like 10 minutes.
Wow. 10 minutes, which usually would have taken how long?
A day and a half at least.
Right.
Yeah. So
It's
getting
crazy.
the information, updating your sheets, going into Visio or PowerPoint, and updating those charts.
Yes. Thank goodness you're here.
Yes.
So when you're here working at the, in the conference on the exhibit hall floor, what are some of the common questions or concerns or challenges that you're hearing about from the attendees?
So I think we always want software to actually make our lives easier. And so if you do have a software that other people can't access, or it's difficult to use, or it can't integrate, then you still end up with just a more expensive silo.
Right.
And so really,
headaches.
Right.
Oh,
and then
goodness.
you're still getting Teams messages all day,
Yeah.
and not getting to do the actual work, right? And so that's what we really want to do, is we want to bridge those connections.
Yeah.
So that, it's almost like the conundrum now of the subscription services. Like, I think we all kind of miss cable at this point.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that as we're innovating and we're bringing all these new technologies into the legal operations space, we are not creating whole new problems. And to do that, we got to make sure that all of those systems have the same data and can talk to each other.
Nice. That just sounds so necessary in today's world, especially when you mentioned about the subscriptions. And I know we have a ton, just even in my company, and we're small, so I can't even imagine. So are you guys launching or talking about anything? Like, what's your buzz in the booth here at the show?
Yeah, we have recently launched a V2 of our structure charts. So, all of the kind of editing functionality, you can now do that within. So these are going to be automatically generated based on your CAT table data. We can show non-equity relationships. So like GPs, we can show loans, we're bringing in debt. So really allowing you to paint that full picture of what your entity map and landscape looks like.
Nice.
And then you can edit it from within the software. You can save your different views. Tax can have their view, legal can have their view, one with the branches, one with triangles. And you can export that to get it out into PDF, get it sent off to DocuSign, get it authenticated.
Wow.
And you're not having to repeat that work every single time.
Right, right. Yeah. So if I was an end user, why would this make me just so happy? Like, there's obvious the time savings and fly or something. Time savings and, efficiency and just having the comfort of having all that data there. So what would, at the end of the day, like what would make them say, yes, I want to continue working with you guys? Like what do you do?
As the end user, it's really about quieting that inbox,
Yeah.
right? Allowing people to have a true self-help, easy to use interface where you can prescribe, this is the information I want this user to be able to see so that they can get to what they need quickly.
Yeah.
And giving you your time and your mental capacity back to actually be able to do the important legal work the
things that you actually enjoy doing.
And the things that you enjoy doing, or, get you out of the office on your lunch break.
Yeah. Or at the end of the actual work day. I love it. So what is your goal here at RLLB at this conference? What do you hope to get out of it yourself?
So I am an attorney myself.
Yeah.
I'm licensed in the state of Texas. So that's one thing I love about being with Athenian, is being able to stay in this space. So really about networking, about continuing to hear what are the challenges that teams are facing outside of just, do we know the tax ID number for this subsidiary? Right? What are the other challenges that our legal teams are facing? How might we be able to start solving those problems?
Right.
And just really staying part of the conversation.
Yeah, client feedback often drives innovation, so that's probably one of the best goals I've heard all day.
Yeah.
So,
and our existing client feedback drives about 2/3 of our roadmap.
Oh, wow.
So we really do work hand in hand with our customers to make sure they're getting exactly what they need out of our product.
That's great. And how long has the company been around?
We started in 2018.
2018.
Yes, founded by former M&A attorney. So
Okay.
I think he got 27 edits on the correct legal name of an entity and said there has to be a better way.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for your time today. I'm really excited about what you guys are doing, and it sounds like this is a great fit for you here at the conference, and I hope that you reach all your goals and have great success. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Amy Juers from Edge Unscripted. Here we are again at RLLB, and I am with Reza here with Paragon. Reza, how are you today?
I'm good, Amy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know. You are just going to be a rock star here today. I just know it. So we are here at this conference. This is your first time, right?
It's my first time at RLLB, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Have you done any of the regional ones? Or are you thinking about it? Or
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are you thinking about the conference so far?
I think it's fantastic. The attendees are amazing. I've had amazing conversations at lunches. The sessions are phenomenal. I see a lot of engagement, so I'm really impressed.
Yeah. So what is Paragon promoting here at the conference?
Yeah, I appreciate that. We're promoting the concept of right sourcing. And right sourcing for us is the concept of when legal matters come up and legal workflows come up in-house, they should always be done by the right person with the right skills and quality, but also more importantly these days at the right cost.
Yeah.
So, and as we interact with the in-house legal teams, our primary audience and relationship is not just with the GCs and CLOs, but also legal ops leadership. So it made sense for us to be here with our colleagues in legal ops.
Absolutely, yeah. And it sounds like there's a lot of data and science that maybe goes into, what you guys do. So, are there any particular trends that you're kind of hearing or seeing and feeling around the conference? In the industry as a whole, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the term AI, right?
No, what? No,
exactly. But unfortunately, what we're seeing the negative trend is a lot of AI pilots actually failing. The study doesn't come to mind. We saw numbers as high as 95% of AI pilots are failing.
Yeah.
And what we deal with hundreds of in-house teams every quarter. And the ones that are winning, that 5%, they have a common denominator, and that is they're not just buying the technology, they're also doing it with the right process in mind and the right people.
Okay.
So if you have the right process and you bring in the right people and combine that with AI, that is where the success comes. So even though that negative trend is happening, we're optimistic that the people here will figure that out and be one of the few winners.
Right. I think that you're spot on with that in terms of having the right people in place, and you can't just push a button and expect magic to really happen from start to finish. So that's really important.
Exactly.
As well. Yeah. And so what is triggering these challenges? Like when you see when you're talking to people at the show, are there certain things why would they come to you? What are their challenges and how are you helping them?
Yeah, well, look, I was a lawyer for 10 years, and then I've been in legal technology and services for 10 years. The concept of budget cuts and belt tightening is not new. It's been going on for the last 10 years. But now you combine that with also geopolitical uncertainty, where with, for example, tariffs, the GCs and CLOs can no longer plan even 6 months ahead.
Right.
So it's just a series of curbs.
Yeah.
Combine that with the technology, and enhancement in technology in legal is not new. As a lawyer, every 5 years, I had to learn to use a new iteration of Westlaw or some drafting software, right? But AI is different. This is a tectonic shift. It's not just a new technology. It's completely different. So when you combine the geopolitical uncertainty at the highest level and the AI technology, you have an incredible storm of challenges.
Right.
But I'm optimistic with companies like us and what we provide is the right people. We have 2,000 plus in-house high caliber lawyers and legal operations professionals, contract managers. So we allow the GCs to be nimble and to pivot quickly. So if they need a lawyer to come in to do X, they can do it. And then if change, we can have another lawyer come do Y. So we allow the legal teams to meet the new challenges of today.
I'm sure they enjoy having that kind of flexibility and access to that kind of talent, which is, you're kind of like a one-stop shop when it comes to that, right?
We try.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah. So in terms of looking into the future and trends and where you see the industry headed, if you could have a little magic, ball, what would you predict, or what would you think about that?
That's a great question. I would say it's a continuation of something we've been seeing in the last 4 or 5 years, and that is legal is now part of the business. Legal is no longer seen as a department of no. More than ever, GCs and CLOs and even legal operation leads are at the table with the boards. They're the ones that moving business forward.
Yeah.
I was at a session here today where the CEO of the company and the head of legal ops were using ChatGPT, Gemini, Notebook LM to create processes and technologies.
Yeah.
that I'm sure you've heard this trendy word called vibe coding. They were actually vibe coding.
That's
Imagine
cool.
lawyers in-house vibe coding. You would have never heard that 10 years ago. So it's amazing.
We wouldn't allow them to code, right?
Exactly.
It's like, that's risky right there. So
exactly.
I wish I would have been at that session. That sounds really cool. So.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. So your personal goal, what do you want to get out of the conference here this week?
My personal goal is build relationships and leave here. It's all about the people.
Yeah.
And I've made some incredible connections. And then there's people that I've known for the last 5-6 years, seeing them again, that personal touch.
Yeah.
And then one of the things I'm noticing is people are more than ever open to talking to each other because the challenges are so great. They're not siloed. They want to have conversations. They want to see what everyone else is doing. So I see that. I hope that continues.
Yeah, I think you're right. And when you come here, there's a lot of barriers that are broken down because it's a community and people want to help each other. And so that's definitely, I think you're going to have a lot of success in that area.
Thank you, Amy.
Hi, everybody. Amy Juers here from Edge Marketing for Edge Unscripted podcast. And I'm here with Rufus of Tenor Legal. Rufus, nice to meet you.
Happy to be here.
Yes. All right. So is this your first time at the conference?
This is my first RLLB. I've been to a bunch of the regional meetings all around the country. They've been phenomenal. So just really excited to be here.
Now, I have not been to a regional one. So what makes them phenomenal? Like
Yeah, they're really curated environments, right? So it's an opportunity to spend like a half a day with legal ops professionals, in-house leaders in a small setting. You get a chance to figure out what they're thinking about, where their priorities are, tell them a little bit more about Tenor. You can't beat that. Connie's great company, real focus on like substantive takeaways. That's been really helpful for us.
Yeah, so tell everybody what you guys do. What does Tenor Legal do?
So we're a legal services firm. So our focus is on providing top flight legal professionals that could be attorneys, compliance professionals, legal ops professionals, paralegals, to Fortune 500s and to mid-cap companies to really help them do like 3 key things that are really important right now. One, helping them sort of operate in this cost-constrained budgetary environment. We really enable that with our autonomous fee arrangements. We provide a nice tool for in-house departments to navigate all this uncertainty right now in the market with the economy and policy uncertainty, really the impact of all this AI and tech enablement, what that means for their team. So we're a nice flexible staffing solution in that point. And then really helping them deliver more value to the business. Something you hear more and more about, but it's an environment. You've got a lot of complexity, a lot of risk, more volume, more expectations from the business to really help drive, greater performance, better risk management, velocity, and we can enable that.
Yeah, and so what is your background? Like, how did you get here today? I'm sure it's an interesting story.
Well, I started my career selling women's shoes many years ago.
Okay.
As a freshman in college. That was my first sales job. But in the law, I was an associate. I was a litigator over at Wilkie Farr and Gallagher. So went there, stayed for a little bit, left as a mid-level associate, worked at a large ALSP as part of their HQ team. So that was my first business development role in the legal industry. It was a great experience, gave me a lot of exposure. I spent 3 years at Burford Capital. They're the world's leading essentially private equity for legal assets, so do a lot of litigation financing. So it was an opportunity there for me to reach and have some really senior level relationships with GCs and DGCs, and head of legal ops and Fortune 500 companies. And then about 4 years ago, I did the crazy thing of deciding to start my own business. Partnered with a colleague of mine, Dean Duggan. He runs the talent side of the house. I run the client side of the house, telling the Tenor story, helping to manage those relationships. And we started Tenor Legal in June of 2021.
Okay, your legal background, but also having that private equity, that whole side of things probably opened your eyes to like, hey, there's a real need here.
Yeah.
And you two pulled it together, and here you are.
Yeah, it's been the hardest thing we've ever done, for sure. The most fun
you
we've
got
ever
through
had.
the first year.
Exactly.
That's the hardest, right? But I mean, it's still hard, but yeah. Yeah, good for you. That's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. Yeah.
So you're here at the conference. What are you hoping to get out of the conference, and like also what kind of conversations you've been having with some of the attendees?
Yeah, ton of conversations. The most important thing for us is really keeping that pulse on the market, right? Understanding where the client demand's going to be, right? That changes every year. So everything right now is starting with AI and it's ending with AI.
Yes.
So we're seeing a ton of demand around, product counsel roles, people that bring that AI transactional experience to help negotiate these agreements. We've also seen a big demand for people that are in the legal operations space, right? That can help companies make those tech selection choices and enablement work.
Yeah.
So that's been great, really just keeping that pulse check really, really tight.
Yeah.
It's also great meeting new potential clients and seeing some old clients and just meeting other folks in the legal operations space.
Yeah.
What's really nice about the conference here, it's intimate on one level in that you can have these in-depth conversations, but it's also big enough where you can meet some new faces.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot, just like the connections that you can make.
Right.
And it's almost like everybody kind of has, I don't want to say their guard down, but it's just they're more open to having conversation with everybody.
That's right.
When you walk through the exhibit hall, which isn't really it is an exhibit hall, but it's not a traditional one in my sense of the word. Sometimes when you go to bigger conferences, they're always just looking at your badge, like, who is that? And where are they from?
Exactly.
This is just people are looking at each other's faces, and they really just want to say hello and just find out how why you're there and if
100%.
you could potentially collaborate on things. So I wish you all the success in the world.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're very excited.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity to tell you a little more about Tenor and help contribute to some of the work you do.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks.
This has been Edge Unscripted on the Floor RLLB Edition. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the conversation. Stay connected by leaving a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.